Thank you to Morris Arkletum for their generous donation on Patreon.
Transition to the Market District, Saul's Arcane Curiosities. All right, let's see how Sid's training sesh went. A mechanical clink filled the air as Sid twisted the lanius in his grip, the massive halberd shrinking back to its normal form. He panted heavily and wiped the sweat off his brow before collapsing through the door of the small arcane shop. Clyde was right behind him with a proud grin.
Would you look at that? Well done! You're one hell of a quick learner, aren't you? Come, settle down and take a break, man. I'll go grab you a drink. You deserve it after all the work you've done this morning.
His ears drooped as he scratched his head bashfully.
Thanks. You're just a good teacher and blacksmith. I had no idea this thing could change its shape in so many ways. I've been learning a lot from you.
He rested the silver halberd against the wall with a heavy thump. With the adrenaline and racing heartbeat of training slowly fading away, Sid felt a heavy weight begin to settle across his shoulders again. He shook his head to clear his thoughts and glanced up at Clyde with a forced smile.
Hey, now that I'm getting the hang of the lanius, maybe I'll impress some important people at the brawl today. There's a chance folks might see what a great job you did on the lanius and be interested in sponsoring your blacksmithing career again. You'll come watch the tournament, won't you? People will want to meet the guy who made this masterpiece. This might be your chance to restart your blacksmithing dream.
Clyde handed him a tankard of chilled ale with a small smile.
Thanks for the optimism, but nah. You're a rookie adventurer, aren't you? Best avoid associating yourself with a disgraced blacksmith like me. It's more trouble than it's worth. Besides, I gotta watch over this shop during the tournament. Old man Saul probably won't be very happy to hear that I left my post to watch a sporting match.
Sid's shoulders slumped in disappointment. He picked up the lanius and idly twirled it about, lost in thought.
I think you deserve better than this. The more I practice with the lanius, the more I realize what a true masterwork weapon it is.
Oh, new sprite! New sprite alert.
Sometimes I wonder if I really deserve to wield this thing. Shame it's wasted on a nobody like me.
Ow! Sid winced as an empty cup bounced off his head. He glanced up to see Clyde scowling sternly, or stoundly skirling, whatever.
I'm not hearing any of this self-deprecating nonsense. You're one of the few people who can even lift this damn thing. You're fine. True, you're kind of empty-headed sometimes, but you're an honest fellow with a good heart. I couldn't ask for anyone better to wield my work.
Sid's lips jerked into a doubtful grimace.
You sound like my mom when she's trying to cheer me up. All that positive, empty chatter.
Clyde raised an eyebrow.
You don't believe me? Of course I don't. Look at everyone else I'm working with.
He didn't notice that he had raised his voice until Clyde winced. Oh, sorry.
Of course I don't!
Jesus. Sid dipped his head apologetically and sat back down.
Just a few days ago, I was just another unemployed bum bouncing from job to job because nobody wanted me. I've always dreamed of being an adventurer. I officially became one. From sheer dumb luck. Didn't do anything to deserve it, just got plucked out of a crowd by Cole because I'm tall or something. How does that compare to the Creator's chosen one?
Sid sighed and gripped the cool metal of his halberd tightly.
I should be grateful, but I don't know. I've been feeling nothing but incompetence since I got here. Did you know I finally met my hero yesterday? Marrow Bonebreaker. I've always looked up to that legend of a man. Now I get to work closely with him. I even got to spar with the man, too.
A bitter laugh escaped his throat.
got the shit kicked out of me. My hero barely spared me a second glance. Artemis oppressed him with flying colors, though. Good for her. Must be nice to be born with creator-blessed powers. I guess it's easier to impress people when you can shoot lightning out of your ass, Sid grumbled. Maybe I should start biting people more. What does biting have to do with anything? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm just starting to sound really petty.
Clyde smiled and gave Sid a supportive clap on the shoulder.
Listen, man. Jealousy is a perfectly normal feeling. Ain't nothing
I don't have.
Ain't nothing shameful about it. When I first started out as a blacksmith, I was a damn nobody too. Seeing all the guys my age who could perform better than me pissed me off to no end. But you see what the real problem was?
Sid peered at him curiously.
What?
Those other guys did nothing wrong. I was just being an insecure little baby who didn't deal with my frustrations very well. So I just threw my frustrations at everyone else.
Clyde shrugged.
Like I said yesterday, I didn't make many friends back in the day.
A soft, nostalgic smile suddenly spread across the tiger's face.
Then I met Cole. The little guy always knew how to give good pep talks. The best cure for envy is self-improvement. Started focusing on myself and taking little steps to improve my work. Probably helped that I had a cute little hyena cheering me on. Pissy, jealous feeling in my chest went away when I wasn't busy comparing myself with others. Cole always used to say...
Clyde's smile suddenly fell as he took a deep swig of his ale.
Anyway, don't feel too bad about being jealous, man. Everyone deals with it from time to time. Also, stop comparing yourself to the fucking chosen one. Everyone would feel like shit with those kind of standards.
Jabbed a finger at Sid's chest.
You know what I think you need? A mate.
Heat instantly flashed across Sid's face.
Oh, what?
A buddy, a peer, a bro, if you will. Someone on your level who you can talk shit with. Obviously can't be Cole because he's your boss. My condolences, by the way. Artemis the one you're comparing yourself with, so that's no-go. You're participating in the tournament, right? There should be plenty of meat-headed warriors there. Go make some friends! There's bound to be someone you can see eye to eye with.
Sid scratched his head nervously.
I guess. I'm not exactly the best with talking to people.
Clyde laughed and clapped Sid on the shoulder good-naturedly.
Just throw some alcohol in there and you'll be fine. Plus, it's a damn festival. Everyone's gonna be in a jolly mood. Just be your cute, clueless self. I'm sure some guy's gonna fall into your lap eventually.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Sid was suddenly cut off by a sharp toll at the city's bell tower. He sprang up to his feet as he counted each ring of the bell.
Oh shit, how long have I been here? I'm supposed to meet up with everyone in the town square right now! Thanks for the talk, Clyde, but I gotta get going.
Clyde smiled and leaned back in his chair.
Have fun out there, my man. I'll be working here in the meantime. Buy me a few souvenirs while you're there, will ya?
Sid froze. He patted his tight pants pockets frantically.
What's the matter? You forget something?
My coin purse! I was gonna buy Mom something nice while I was at the festival! I'm a complete dumbass! Gotta rush home now. I'll see you around!
Clyde watched in amusement as the badger scrambled out of the door whilst tripping on his own feet. He shook his head quietly before downing the rest of his ale.
Jealous, huh?
Oh, jealous.
Ugh.
Market District, Sparrow's Roost Tavern and Inn. Sid never ran so fast in his life. The doors to the Sparrow's Roost Inn and Tavern burst open as the badger fell onto the wooden floors, his chest heaving painfully.
Sorry, Mom, have you seen my... Huh?
Sid was startled to see a familiar hyena leaning over the inn counter with a timid face. Hamish scratched his head sheepishly as though he had been caught in an unsightly act. Hamish, huh?
Oh. Good morning, Sid. You doing well?
Sid nodded curiously as he struggled to regain his breath.
Yeah, just on my way to the town square. What are you doing here?
Before Hamish could open his mouth, Ilya cheerfully glided through the kitchen doors with a thick stack of parchment in her arms.
Here you go, Mr. Hamish. All my best recipes and kitchen tips in one organized stack. I never knew you were such a self-conscious man. Okay. Just because your son enjoyed my cooking doesn't mean he doesn't appreciate yours.
Hamish's gaze darted between Sid and Ilya before he hastily collected the recipes.
Aw, he's such a cute little dad.
The older hyena cleared his throat loudly.
Cole has made his opinion heard. Loudly. Thank you for humoring me, Mr. Strikewood. I'll try to put your work to good use. How much do I owe you?
Oh, nothing at all, dear. It's quite heartwarming to see such a loving father be attentive to his son's wants and needs. Why, I should be thanking you and Cole for keeping such a watchful eye on my little boy at your mercenary company. Sid is a sweet and talented lad. He just needs someone to give him a nudge once in a while.
Mom!
Oh, Sid, when did you get home? I figured you'd be back sooner than later. You've forgotten your coin purse in the kitchen again.
The old bird chirped cheerfully as she handed the purse to her son with a knowing look and a pinch to his cheek. Sid's face flushed. He glanced at Hamish before awkwardly stuffing his purse in his pocket.
You're embarrassing me in front of my heiress boyfriend.
'Tis my job, dear. Now scurry along. Your friends are waiting for you, aren't they?
Sid's shoulders slumped in embarrassed defeat. He gave his mom a quick peck on the cheek before bolting out the door again.
Thanks, Mom. I'll get you something nice from the festival.
Hamish watched the exchange between the two with a quiet furrow in his brow. He sighed quietly before folding up his stack of parchment and tucked it into a pocket of his cloak.
Thank you for the recipes, Mrs. Strikewood, but I best get going. The day is young, and there is much work to do.
Oh, of course. Don't let an old bird like me keep you. Apologies, I do love to dote on my boy every chance I get. I'm sure you understand. Cole is probably utterly spoiled by you lot.
Ilya let out a cheerful chirp. Hamish's jaw tightened as he forced a smile.
Perhaps. Though I have to admit, Cole lacks the sweetness your boy seems to have.
Oh, but I am sure that is just a small bump in the road. Cole seems like a good lad, and you a good father. He is bound to see the hard work you've put into him eventually.
That is very optimistic of you.
Hamish cleared his throat and made his way toward the door.
Though, if you'll forgive me, I must take my leave.
The wooden door of the tavern swung open and closed with a cold thud as Hamish left. Ilya watched the retreating back of the man for several moments before letting out a tired huff.
Somebody really needs to grab all three of you by the ears and sit you down for a talk.
Yeah, very true. And Town Square Plaza. Hey, festival complete with, I guess those are crystals, giant fucking crystals for lights. I guess that makes sense. Cole let out a deafening sneeze as he stumbled through the crowded streets of the town square. Malice slithered onto his shoulder with a curious hiss.
Have you caught a cold, puny mortal? You must see a healer immediately. It will not do to have my host die so pathetically.
Cole scowled and flicked the python on the nose. I'm fine. Someone's probably just talking shit about me.
How in the world does a sneeze indicate such information?
It's an old dumb superstition.
That makes no sense. You mortals grow more confounding by the day.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, there he goes. Cole sighed and stuffed the python back into his pockets, with Malice screaming in protest. He turned his gaze back toward the packed streets of Town Square. The place had utterly transformed since yesterday. Food stalls lined the streets with festive decorations and colorful banners hanging on from every wall. The delicious smell of fried snacks and festival sweets filled the air, along with the laughs and chatters of children and tourists. Bards and street performers sang and danced with a jolly, laughing audience. Many faces in the crowd felt unfamiliar. Most were likely travelers and adventurers who were visiting Axia for the Firefly Festival celebrations. And here they were, filling the streets like a horde of annoying tourists. Cole stomped his feet and glanced at everyone with contempt. Who gave them all the right to be so damn tall? Everyone towered over him like giants, which made locating Artemy utterly impossible. The night ran off like an overexcited puppy at the sight of festival decorations, leaving Cole to drown in this miserable sea of tall people. So much for knights and their sense of duty. He yelped as someone suddenly stomped on his tail. Cole recoiled and hugged his tail close, desperately trying to push his way through the wall of bodies. Hey, watch it, you piece of shit! The tall stomper didn't even hear him as he was swept along the crowd. Oh, okay, that actually works. Cole grumbled. That's why he hated traveling alone. Why the hell did Artemy have to scurry off so quickly? Oh, there's Sid. Boss, you okay there? A wave of relief washed over Cole at the sound of a familiar voice. He let out a triumphant yell and jumped into Sid's arms with glee. Whoa, boss, what's going on? Dude, let me ride on your shoulders. What? Cole gripped his arms pleadingly. I've been stepped on at least a dozen times since I got here. A tall guy like you would never understand the struggle. Come on, man. Adventures are supposed to help those in need, right? I'm in need. I fucking hate crowds. Despite Cole's snark, Sid felt a sense of amused satisfaction fill his chest.
Here, boss, I gotcha.
There they are. Look at them go. That's much better. I can finally see. That's why it's always nice to have a tall, buff man on your payroll. Why couldn't you be here earlier? Sid couldn't help but chuckle at their ridiculous position. Cole's hands felt warm as the small hyena leaned atop his head and absentmindedly caressed his ears.
Sorry, I was busy training with Clyde this morning. Then I had to rush home and grab my coin purse. Funny thing, I ran into your dad while I was at Mom's Tavern.
Cole's eyebrow perked up curiously. Papa was at Sparrow's Roost?
Oh, I meant Hamish.
Hamish is not my dad.
I got
Papa?
And it
Hamish.
do the math. That's one parent.
Yeah, you.
Hamish.
The sharpness in Cole's voice was startling. Sid gulped and decided to drop the subject altogether.
Anyway, did I miss anything while I was away?
Not much. Artemy ran into the crowd like an idiot, and I've been searching for her since. Bitter twinge flashed across Sid's chest, but he swallowed it back down with a smile.
Well, this is her first festival after all. It's natural to be excited.
Knowing her, she's probably going to get mugged or pickpocketed again. Maybe we should get one of those child leashes for her. Those things are fucked. I hate that. Did she forget that we have a job to do today? I love this. I remember seeing this on Twitter too, anyway. Sorry. The loot looks a little squished. Look at the top of the loot. It looks like it's. Oh, it's funny. I do love the expression work, man. Oh man, it's so nice. Cole grumbled as he peered into the flowing crowd. Artemy wasn't exactly tall. Finding her would be like picking a needle out of a bigger pile of needles. They needed to find her soon. The two of them didn't exactly have the status to butter up nobles without her.
Come on, boss, relax. Finding her shouldn't be too hard.
I've been looking and shouting for her for the last 20 minutes. I'd like to see you do better. And then,
Sure, pluck.
fucking... God damn it, the expressions are so fucking funny.
Oh, hello. Greetings, Sir Sid. Hi.
How the fuck?
Cole, I've run into a terrible predicament. All the food and game stalls seem to require money, and I lack the funds to participate. Would you be so kind as to lend me a few copper pieces?
What happened to that big bag of gold I gave you after the fighting ring fiasco?
I told you it is a holy knight's solemn duty to donate the earnings to the church.
Artemis' wagging tail drooped with a hint of shame.
I know I should be placing my efforts into the missing ruby investigation right now, but it would be a shame to ignore the festival while we're here. Look at all this delicious food.
You know, this isn't a vacation day. We've got work to do. Oh, now you want to act all responsible and whatnot. Cole opened his mouth to retort, but he was cut off by the sensation of something slithering up his shoulder.
Puny mortal, what are the heavenly scents that I detect?
Oh, that's probably all the fried street food. There's some roast potatoes and octopus in that stall over there. My dad's probably setting up his cheese stall somewhere around here, too.
Malice bolted up sharply.
Mortals! I command you to sample each and every one of these delicacies! My journey to the material plane will not be complete without it!
The jousting and brawling tournament is in a few hours. We need to prepare. And I don't want to shove my way through this goddamn crowd again. The tiny snake's head whipped backwards with a melodramatic wail.
But the smell is so enticing! We must have a taste while we're here! Why must you be so cruel? Mortals must consume food to extend their already feeble lifespans, don't they?
I concur with Sir Noodle. We must be in top condition before we continue pursuing our objective. An empty stomach will not do. I am a bit hungry.
Dude, you're supposed to be on my side.
I am. I'm just saying this might be a good chance to mingle with the crowd and catch some gossip and news about the people we're going after. What do you say? 2 birds with 1 stone. And you can keep riding my shoulders if you want.
Cole grumbled reluctantly. Also, Sid shouldn't say 2 birds with 1 stone. That's... His parents are birds. That's kind of fucked up. Keeping these idiots on track was proving more difficult than he expected. He didn't want to wrangle his way through the crowds again, but Artemis' puppy dog eyes were difficult to resist. Alright, fine. But make it quick! And don't get too distracted by the festival stuff. We need to actually keep an eye out for suspicious folks in the area. Aw, so cute.